Welcome back to Upfront, everyone. I'm Matt Smith. President Trump's campaign says it will seek a recount in Wisconsin. President-elect Joe Biden won the state by roughly 20,000 votes. Former Republican Governor Scott Walker has said that's a high hurdle for Trump to overcome in a recount. I talked with him about the president's endgame. From where we sit today, is Joe Biden going to be the next president?
Well, we want to make sure every vote counts, just like Al Gore did 20 years ago. I think Donald Trump wants to make sure that all the votes that were legally cast are counted. And once that's done, then we'll see where the results are. But very close elections, obviously in Wisconsin, in Georgia, in Arizona, in Pennsylvania. And I think those who supported the president over the last 4 years want to make sure that they're able to see that every vote that was legally cast is counted.
At what point is the end game for this? Is there a chance the president could go too far, and is there an overall risk for Republicans?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think in 2000, 20 years ago, people saw it go all the way through. The then Vice President Al Gore didn't give a concession speech until December 13th, about more than a month past the election. And I don't believe it stopped George W. Bush, who was then governor of Texas, from preparing to be president of the United States. And I don't think long term it hurt either party.
Governor, 4 years ago, when you were running for president, you dropped out in part because of Donald Trump and his potential impact on the party. Curious your thoughts on the lasting impact the president will have on this party. And are you considering any thoughts of 2024 as we sit here and look at the landscape today?
Well, one, in terms of the party, yeah, when I got out, I was worried he wouldn't govern as a conservative. I really didn't know. He'd not been in office before. For me, the pleasant surprise about the president, Donald Trump, has been that he has governed as a conservative. So on a substantive basis, he was actually quite effective. Obviously, on a personal basis, that was part of the challenge he had, specifically with swing voters, because of the content of some of his comments and of his text messages. But I think long term, I don't see that as a net negative for the party, because Donald Trump, whether you like him or you don't, is a one of a kind. I think most people see Donald Trump as being Donald Trump, not necessarily just the party. The key going forward, though, is he did make inroads into a lot of working class people of all different backgrounds who felt ignored by elected officials, particularly in Washington. And it's going to be incumbent on Republicans going forward to show that it wasn't just Donald Trump, that they too care about the forgotten men and women of America. And in terms of your question about elections, well, I'm going to be at Young America's Foundation for at least 4 years. That's my contract. But some point in the future, I might consider running again. I joke. I'm only half joking about this. I'm a quarter century younger than Joe Biden, so I figure I got plenty of time to make any further decisions.
Wisconsin election officials have expressed confidence in how the election was carried out, but with President Trump and many of his supporters claiming the election is being stolen from him, a top Republican has ordered a review of the election here. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos directed a committee with subpoena power to investigate Wisconsin's elections and how they were administered. Appleton area Representative Ron Tussler is leading that committee, and he joins us now. Representative, good to see you. When is the first hearing going to begin, and what do you hope to find?
Well, first, thanks for having me. It's definitely an honor. And, next week is going to be the first hearing. So we don't yet have everybody's schedules lined up, but it will be next week. We'll start issuing subpoenas if necessary. Maybe people are willing to testify without being subpoenaed, but we'll get folks into the committee sometime next week, probably the later half.
Why do you think subpoenas will be necessary, and who do you want to hear from specifically?
Well, right now we've received over 3,500 complaints or concerns just in my office, and I'm one of 99 state representatives, and other representatives have received an awful lot too. So right now we're in the process of going through those concerns and trying to analyze which issues are the issues that are coming up the most often, which issues are the issues that people are the most concerned about, and really trying to focus on that. That's where this investigation comes from. It comes from folks that are contacting our office and saying, look, I'm concerned about this election. I'm concerned about the results. I'm concerned about something that happened in some other part of the state that maybe I don't even live in. And I really want you to take a look at it and make sure this was fair.
The canvass process will wrap up on Tuesday, just before your hearings begin. The state is reporting no major issues, some minor human errors that are typically found in the canvass process. What do you think your investigation will find that the canvass doesn't?
Well, the canvass isn't done yet, and some of the areas that are the most important and the most maybe areas that have the most concern are the ones that haven't yet reported yet. So I think it's a little bit quick yet to assume that the canvass won't come up with anything new. But the canvass is just really the beginning part of a process. We anticipate and expect a recount to happen in Wisconsin. We also see other opportunities to audit particularly different areas and to contact folks in Milwaukee, folks in Brown County, folks in other parts of the state where irregularities happened or unusual things happen. You know, a lot of the concerns we receive are people that are saying, look, I've been voting in the same location for years now, and this election was conducted in a very different way than I'm used to, and I don't see why it would have changed so dramatically. So we want to get some answers on that.
Speaker Vos said this past week he doesn't believe anything this investigation finds that will change the result of the election. Do you agree with that? And to that, then what is the larger goal here?
Well, you know, I think that it's too early to say that. You know, I think that we're going to get information on from our canvasses. We're going to get information whether we had any Dominion issues at Dominion software that caused 6,000 votes that were made for Trump to switch to Biden in Antietam County, Michigan. That already happened. We know that happened. We know that we have that software. And really, nothing we've done so far has really been able to determine whether we had a Dominion issue. So that could still happen. So there's situations that potentially might have occurred that we might get information on that could get us over 20,000 votes. But Speaker Vos is right that 20,000 votes is a lot more than we usually see. Usually in a recount, we only see an average of a 314 vote difference. That's a pretty small amount. And I don't think we've ever had a recount that changed our vote by more than 600 votes. So if you think about that, I mean, 20,000 is a lot more than that. You can see why the speaker said that. But I'd ask everybody to hold their horses and let's just kind of see what we get from some of this work.
There's a lot of people who are nervous on both sides of the equation here. Do you believe investigations like this, the lawsuits we're seeing, cast more doubt on the system and the process itself?
I hope not. You know, the idea is that, you know, half of the state of Wisconsin is concerned with, you know, whether this was a fair election or not. What I really want, the goal of this investigation is transparency. It's answering those questions and those concerns that people have. We need to live in a country where we trust our elections. That's very, very important. And when we have an election that's as close as this and as heated as this for our top position in the country, a little bit of work afterward to make sure everything was fair is pretty normal.
Representative Ron Tussla, hey, we appreciate your time and we look forward to you updating us as this progress continues.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Wisconsin's COVID crisis. Experts say we're at a tipping point. Dr. Deborah Birx of the White House Coronavirus Task Force telling us what it'll take to get the virus under control.